Hello YouTube, my name is Kennedy. Welcome to Ethical Hacking and Penetration Testing with the Metasploit Framework. So in this video, we're going to cover the modules which are inside the Metasploit Framework. And because this is an initial video, we are going to navigate through the Metasploit Framework and learn its basics and how it works. We'll cover mostly Metasploit keywords which are modules. So first of all, to launch our Metasploit Framework, let me click this icon here and launch my terminal. Then when I launch my terminal, the first thing you should do is to start the PostgreSQL database, because the PostgreSQL will enable our Metasploit framework to run faster. So we'll just type here service, service PostgreSQL start, like that. This one will initialize the database called PostgreSQL. Now I'm being given an input field here. This is the password field for my Kali Linux root machine, which is Kali Linux. And as you can see, the database now is running. So to launch a Metasploit framework, we type msf console. Wait for it to load. It is taking some minutes or some seconds, but depending on the RAM of your computer, this is the way it is. And if your computer is having 8 GB RAM, 16 GB, 32 GB RAM, it will run faster. But if you are having a gigs of maybe 4 gigs, it will run slowly. So here we are being given a banner. This banner is for the Metasploit framework, and it is changing every now and then. When you exit from the Metasploit framework and restart it again, it will change the banner. If you reboot your PC, it will change the banner. So first of all, here you have 2071 exploits, 1123 auxiliary, 352 posts, 592 payloads, 45 encoders, 10 NOPs, and a version. So first of all, want to define what are auxiliary. What are auxiliaries? So auxiliary, they just provide functionality to perform tasks on a remote host. For example, when you are trying to log in or scanning ports on a different server, you will see how it works. And let's start by saying that auxiliary enable you to have that ability to do any activity on a target host. So for example, if you want to see the location of this Metasploit framework, let me open another window here, new window, and we don't need this one anymore, but we can just put it aside here. So the Metasploit framework is located in which location? Let us see. Just type cd user share Metasploit framework, and if you type here ls or list all those files inside here, we'll see that the Metasploit framework location or storage location is having a bunch of items. Let me put them in order so that you can see everything clearly. ls dash la. Good. Now we have read, write, execute permissions here, and the Metasploit framework is in the root directory, and these are the bytes and date and whatever. So this dot represents a hidden directory. We have apps, we have bundles, these are just directories, and some documentation, gem file, lib, modules, msf console. So in this video, we talk about the modules, and we have the msf console, which we have used to run the Metasploit framework. Then we have msfdb, then we have msf rpc, we have msf update for updating our Metasploit framework, and we have msf venom. This one is going to be used to create our payloads and encoders in our future coming videos. So for For example, let's go to the modules which we are interested in this video. So let us type cd modules, then ls, and what do we have in the modules? We have auxiliary, encoders, evasion, exploits, nopes, payloads, and post. And we have already defined auxiliary as an example of a functionality being given to take an action on a target host. And if you come to auxiliary, cd auxiliary, what do we have here? We have a bunch of items. We have admin, directory, analyze, vnet, client, cloud, crawler, docs, doors, and whatever. So let me choose one and say maybe, for example, doors here. So let me just cd into doors directory, ls, la. ls means list all those files, and la list all. So here we have a bunch of items. The directory is here, but inside the doors we have Android, Apple doors, Cisco, DHCP, DNS, domain host control protocol, domain name, service, and whatever. We have HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, and we have many bunch of directories here. So for example, if we have something like TCP, transport control protocol, so cd TCP ls-la, and we have different files here. So for example, if you want to use this file synflood.rb, this file is written in Ruby, and the majority of the files in Metasploit framework are written in Ruby, because even Ruby itself is written in Ruby language. So if you want to use this file, you will use the commands which we'll cover in the next chapter, but now I just want to navigate to you. So let us go back. Let us go back again. Let's go back again, and ls. So we have encoders now, because we have discussed about auxiliary. So what about encoders? So encoders are encoding and decoding payloads, and they can run on a port of an exploit, and that cannot be detected by antivirus of the target, victim, or machine. So encoders are very good, because when you are trying to run part of an exploit into a host operating system, the antivirus like Avast or Kaspersky cannot detect you very easily using encoders. And if you come to encoders here, what do you see? If you come to encoders, you have CMD encoders, generic, MIPSB, MISPLC, PHP, PPC, Ruby, Spark, and we have even 64 architecture modules and even 86 architecture modules. So let me try to access the modules of auxiliary encoders inside the 64-bit architecture. So let me type cd x64 ls. So here we have source context.ruby. These are encoders which you can use during exploitation. So let us go back. Next we have evasion. So what are evasion? Evasions here, they are just evading payloads. They can help you when, for example, you are trying to run exploits in intrusion detection systems, and they cannot be detected. They can evade those intrusion detection systems. And if you come to evasion here, what do we have? Evasion here contain Windows only, and the Windows directory, we have a bunch of files: applocker, evasion, install util.ruby. So Windows Defender, JS, HTA, Ruby. So these are encoders, sorry, evasions inside the Metasploit framework, which we can use. And next, let us go back and go to exploits. So what are exploits? Exploits is a process that can take advantage of a vulnerability of an exploit. So vulnerability is just the weakness of a system. So an exploitation can happen when there's a weakness in that system you're trying to target. Maybe there's improper configuration of those systems. So there is a vulnerability and an exploit can happen there. And the process can take effect and take advantage. And the most exploits are code executed remotely. For example, you can have exploits like web application vulnerability exploits. Next, let us see at the exploit directory here. What do we have here? In the exploit directory, we have hidden directories dot and dot dot. Then we have AIX, another directory which contain a bunch of other files. And also have hpacks, irix, linux, and whatever. So let me see the Linux directory. cd linux ls. So in Linux directory, we have antivirus exploits, file transfer protocol exploits, we have hypertext transfer protocol exploits, IMAP, MES, POP3, PPTP, Redis, SMTP. We have even secure shell host here. That's great. We also have even Postgres exploits. We have SNMP, we have Telnet also. So these are a bunch of exploits you can use. So let us go back and let us talk about NOPs. NOPs simply means no operations. And they are used within MSF to ensure proper execution of a payload or provide stability to it. And most of the NOPs are found in assembly language. If you know assembly language, then I guess you know what I'm talking about. Let me see what is inside the NOPs. We have architecture 64, AML, MIPS-B, PHP, PPC, Spark, TTY, 64-bit architecture, and 86 architecture. So that's how you can navigate through the NOPs directory. And let us go back. Next, what do we have here? Sorry, where were we now? We want to see the next thing was after the auxiliary, we have defined auxiliary. Let me go back again. User share. Let me say cd user share Metasploit framework. So we're talking about modules. Yeah, where are the modules? These ones here. So cd modules, and we have defined NOPs already. So let us go to payloads. So a payload are programs that run remotely on a victim host after an exploit is successful. They're executable codes. So for example, after gaining an access to a remote host operating system you are trying to target, you can deliver payloads and convince the user of that machine to run that payload, which can give you more ability to have a Metasploit session and even dump the system, change the login credentials, upload files, delete files, screenshot the PC, and you can even look at the interfaces of the network that machine is using. Then if you come to payloads here, what do we have in our payloads? We have singles, stages, and stages. And for example, if you open, let me say, stages, cd stages, they just other payloads which can conduct an exploit in a remote host operating system. And we have different types of stages: Android, BSD, BSDI, Java, Linux, multi-netware, OS X, PHP, Python, Windows, and whatever. So this is just a way of navigating through them. And lastly, we have hosts. So what are hosts? Hosts are just modules which are used in post-exploitation. After gaining an access to a remote host operating system, you have the Metasploit shell, and now you have a control of that server. So you can use post modules to do malicious activity on that operating system, like changing even the admin of that operating system, changing the admin password, deleting other users from the system, deleting the documents from that system, even uploading videos and downloading files. That is it. So let us see what is inside the post. So in the post we have AIX, Android, Apple iOS, BSD, Firefox, hardware, Linux. So Firefox is web-based post module. So let me see in Firefox. So in Firefox we have gather and manage. So if you go to manage and list the files inside manage, we have webcam chat.ruby. So webcam, this is not only initial is also good when we have a web camera. When we have a web camera. So let us try to see the contents of this file. So we'll use the cat command, webcam underscore chat.rb. I've typed error. Webcam. Yeah. So when you cut, it will display the contents of this file, and this file is written in Ruby. So if you know Ruby programming, it is a plus to you, and it can say that this module requires Metasploit. HTTPS metasploit.com download. Define initialize info equals to braces super into brackets update info. So this is just a program which is written in Ruby language, and that's another command which we are not supposed to show here, but I've just demonstrated it in this tutorial. So I guess that is good for this tutorial, and we are good to go. So in the next video, we are going to look at the commands which you can use in this Metasploit framework. And thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. If you have a suggestion, a topic of your choice you want me to cover in this channel, let me know it in the comment section below. Subscribe, like, and share. Good day. Bye bye.